Có 2 chiếc xe này tổng cộng chở lại mà
tổng cộng 71 rồi.
Chết trời, tưởng ai mà có trong này rồi được có
định đi
đây là một buổi sáng ở đò Tránh có đi Arrowhead rồi có 2 xe xe khoảng 38 37 người tổng số là trong bán là 70 mấy người. Tôi rồi tôi không cần bao nhiêu người.
Không thì khoảng một xe là 35 người, một xe 36 người, tổng cộng là 71 người nha.
Anh không biết tôi ai đâu, không biết nào biết. Tôi biết anh không biết tôi, không thể biết tôi nữa. Rồi.
Các ông bây giờ ông kêu quá, ông làm cái gì ông kêu quá. Tôi bảo anh tổ chức này rất hay vì ta đi nhiều mỗi lần nào nó vẫn em nó
Anh thì nhiễm chưa? Trương Văn Nghĩa 4 người đủ chưa? Anh Khoa 2 người. Anh 6 là điểm dân. Đâu sợ đâu. Với anh Ri. Anh Ri nói con nó đưa tới mà. Có thể cho anh Ri ngồi đây. Hả? Thì có thể chút xíu anh Điền qua ngồi chung với anh Phát rồi cho hai người này hai người già. Đây là đang phát bánh mì ăn sáng cho cả đoàn. Được biết là ở đây thì được ăn free trên xe là ổi mì và ống ớt. Còn ngoài cái đó thì tất cả những thành viên tự túc. Thì quốc gia hành chánh đã tổ chức đi Arrowhead thì gồm có khoảng 71 người đi làm 2 xe. Xe thứ nhất màu xanh, rồi xe thứ hai là màu đỏ, cũng là 36 người, tổng cộng này khoảng 71 bên này. Đây là lần đầu tiên tất cả các anh em quốc gia hành chánh người nào người đấy cũng U70 trở lên hết, họp mặt đông đủ khoảng chừng 71 người. Rồi, cái này xe rộng thì một người ngồi được 2 chỗ. Hết rồi. Sao Hải đâu? Có mặt không? Có tiếng. Đây, sao Hải đây phải không? Chào chị à, lần đầu tiên mới gặp nhau à nghe không? Lâu lắm không thấy gặp chị à. Dạ chị bữa nay đi biết đâu kìa? Không phải hả?
Anh đi đâu? Đi theo
tôi không biết đi đâu nữa. Tôi nghe nói đi Arrowhead gì đó mà phải không? Không phải. Đồng đen mới thấy này nha. Chào anh à.
Dạ, chào anh.
Dạ khỏe không à?
Dạ, cảm ơn anh.
Ủa anh đi con mình hả?
Dạ vâng, mình.
Năm nay chắc cũng là U80 chứ nè.
Dạ ngoài.
Hy vọng là tất cả mỗi năm chúng ta đều gặp nhau vậy ha.
Vâng.
Rồi em không vô được đâu, tại vì phải cái moderator nó accept nó vừa phải vô mới được, chứ người ngoài tự động.
Hoặc là vô Google á để quốc gia hành chánh. Quốc gia hành chánh thôi.
Nói với anh Thu đó, anh là hội trưởng đó.
Không phải cái này riêng nữa.
Riêng thôi, cứ thử thôi, Có đề nghị là cho gọi thư cho anh Sáu này rồi anh cho vào. Rồi lấy đi.
Cái đó dài quá vô không nổi. Cái này tài lắm cũng tiếng rưỡi hồ á.
Tủ chẳng mà ấy rồi nó lái về
mấy cụ nữa sao?
Tại này không ai ngồi thế không?
người là hay đó, thì đâu cũng
Đây nè.
Ổng thì biết.
Giờ 4 phút xe bắt đầu lăn bánh. Hôm nay là ngày 29 tây tháng 7 2023.
người mà nói là Lê Văn Tám là tôi sợ lắm.
Anh em bên Lê Văn Tám đó anh.
Lê Văn Tám biết ai không?
Chứ còn cộng sản nó phịa ra thằng Tám nó đâu có thằng Tám đâu. Có thằng Lê Văn Mười ngồi trước tôi thôi.
Anh em bên Lê Văn Tám đó chứ.
Lê Văn Tám, Nguyễn Thị Sáu, số không.
Đây là sau khi xe bắt đầu lăn bánh thì các anh chị đang nói chuyện bàn về thời sự hồi xưa. Lê Văn Tám, Lê Văn Chín, Nguyễn Thị Sáu gì em sầm lắm nữa. Nói là đây là có Lê Văn Mười. Lê Văn Mười là em của Lê Văn Tám. Mỹ quay đấy đúng không? Xin mời anh Vũ Quang đứng dậy cho nó lấy hình lại. Diễn lại. Dạ. Dạ, anh Vũ Quang đến từ Việt Xi nhà. Dạ. Còn nữa chị gì? Dạ chị Cúc nữa. Rồi anh chị Cai còn chi? Dạ có bà vợ anh đâu? Chắc chắn có quay rồi, cái này có quay nha. Ồ, tại vì anh muốn người bạn anh nói khó. Dạ. Dạ.
Năm đi gặp lại.
Dạ. Tôi quên giới thiệu một anh chị là Lê Minh Hải ở từ San Jose cũng xuống đây. Cũng xa lắm. Dạ. Sorry. Dạ. Tôi để kể cho quý vị trong khi chờ đợi, kể cho quý vị chuyện vui là tôi cầm cái máy, tôi phỏng vấn ca sĩ. Ông đến đã ở đời ngồi ủa chưa có bấm nút record. Là rốt cuộc không có gì đó, yên chí đó, yên chí không có gì trong này đó. Anh chị để đó, anh chị để em nói là rất là buồn là không đi được, nhưng mà cái trường hợp đó phải ở nhà.
Cái đó là quá hiếm.
Number one. Phái đoàn quốc gia Hàn Chánh đã đến Arrowhead và đang chờ ông trưởng phái đoàn đi mua vé đi tàu. Đây là những thành phần ngồi ở đây. Tôi sẽ đi lướt một vòng cho quý vị thấy ha. Xin giới thiệu quý vị. Đây là bà xã của tôi. Đây là vợ anh Hùng. Đây là anh Thu. Chị. Hả? Ủa sao kỳ vậy, lạ vậy?
Đẹp quá, đẹp quá.
Sao thấy lạ quá? Sao? Xin lỗi anh ạ. Anh cho biết là bữa nay là nhóm quốc gia Hành Chánh đi đâu ở đây nè?
Hôm nay đó là thứ Bảy 29 tháng 7 năm 2023. Hội quốc gia Hành Chánh Nam Cali có tổ chức một chuyến du ngoạn ở trên Arrowhead ở khu Big Bear. Đây là một cái khu vực du lịch cũng khá sầm uất và nhộn nhịp. Hội Hành Chánh Nam Cali tổ chức chuyến này đi khoảng 68 người.
Dạ anh xin cho biết là cái nhỏ nhất là bao nhiêu, lớn nhất là bao nhiêu?
Cái người nhỏ nhất á, là một cậu bé con của anh Đinh Ngọc Bảo, bé nhất hình như khoảng 15-16 tuổi thôi. Rồi còn hai người dưới senior chút đó là một người bạn của anh Nghĩa, Trương Văn Nghĩa là lớp sinh thứ 12, và một cô bạn của bà xã tôi là cô Lương Thị Như Mai, 62 tuổi. Tất cả còn lại là đều là senior hết.
Cao nhất là chắc có lẽ trên 9 không?
Cao nhất là có Đại huynh Trần Ngọc Tôn, đốc sự khóa 2. Đại huynh Tôn bây giờ năm nay chắc có lẽ là khoảng 92-93 tuổi. Thì Đại huynh Tôn vẫn còn đi rất là khỏe. Và đặc biệt kỳ này là có anh Vũ Bá Quang, ảnh đến từ Virginia. Anh Vũ Bá Quang là thủ ủy của Hội Hành Chánh miền Đông.
Nghe anh bạn Sáu nói là anh từ tiểu bang khác đến đây phải không ạ?
Vâng, tôi từ tiểu bang Virginia. Tôi là ở vùng Annandale. Nhân tiện sang đây thăm người con trai làm việc bên này. Thì các anh cũng cho tôi biết là hội hành chánh Cali có tổ chức đi anh em đi chơi. Nhân tiện đây sang đây cũng gặp dịp đó thì chúng tôi cũng thắp tùng các anh em để đi chơi các anh.
Dạ anh qua Nam Cali chừng nào mới về?
Tôi sang đây là ngày thứ tư vừa rồi. Thì ở bên thằng con trai tôi đến đầu tuần tới này thì tôi sẽ đi đợi đứa con gái với chồng nó ở bên Virginia qua đây với ở nhà cái con trai từ chúng tôi vợ chồng tôi chúng sẽ đi Hawaii một tuần lễ để sau đó chúng tôi sẽ trở về đây và để tôi sẽ trở về bên Virginia.
Dạ thôi cảm ơn anh ạ.
Dạ cảm ơn anh. Dạ cảm ơn anh.
Xe màu đỏ thì chúng ta sẽ tập trung ở
này 1.45 1.45.
Xe một
Không, cái xe màu xám mình đi á.
cái xe bên
Mà tôi là trưởng nhóm á.
Xe màu
Chúng ta
đỏ.
xe đây là 1.45.
Xe màu đỏ. Còn xe một
Bây giờ nè.
là 1 giờ có 6.
Bây giờ
xe một
sáu
sáu
phải không?
Ông của tôi là Cộng Hòa. Đi xuống dưới chút xíu tiền này.
Ngồi gì á?
25 mày đến xuống dưới kia. Xin lỗi. Sao bên chung nữa đã? Chung nữa đã. Chồng ở đâu? Ra chỗ này nè, lấy sáng nè. Không ra chụp ra lấy cái nha. Không anh cháu chụp ở ngoài bến tàu để
Xin chào anh Đông ạ. Có lẽ anh là người cao tuổi nhất trong cái nhóm này phải không?
Dạ. Cao tuổi nhất tiến 3 tuổi.
Dạ. Anh đi đây được bao nhiêu lần nè?
Tôi tới đây lần đầu tiên.
Dạ đầu tiên.
Không nhớ nữa, bây giờ không nhớ nữa.
Anh cấp này có cuốn tennis không? Không, chắc
Rơi thôi.
dạ.
Giỏi lắm.
Dạ, xin anh vô trong cái này nắng lắm, hồi giờ phải bị say nắng đó. Thôi cảm ơn anh nha. Có ý kiến gì phát biểu thêm không?
Cảm ơn cả anh đã tổ chức thế này, mong được gặp nhiều lần như thế này.
Dạ.
Đi thế này rất là vui.
Dạ, phải cảm ơn anh.
Dạ, cảm ơn anh nhiều lắm.
Chào anh ạ. Được anh Sáu cho biết là bữa nay là Hội Quốc gia Hành chánh Nam Cali có tổ chức du ngoạn tại Arrowhead. Xin anh cho biết chi tiết về buổi du ngoạn này ạ.
Thật ra thì chúng tôi cũng có nhiều địa điểm để mà đi du ngoạn, nhưng mà chúng tôi muốn chọn cái Arrowhead Lake này là cái địa điểm rất là thú vị. Đường vì nó đường đi lên núi, chứ thật sự ra ban đầu thì định ở vùng Los Angeles. Thứ hai nữa là chúng tôi chọn là đường đi xa để anh em có dịp có cơ hội mà tâm sự với nhau, vui vẻ nhau và thấy cái vừa ngoạn cảnh mà vừa có thể nói chuyện với nhau. Đó là một cái điều rất là thú vị mà anh chị em đã hướng được.
Dạ, cảm ơn anh ạ. Giờ xin chị là từng đi họp hè rồi không thấy chị có mặt, bữa nay thấy lần đầu tiên, tuần này rất là ngạc nhiên ạ. Xin cho biết cái ý kiến cảm tưởng bữa nay ạ.
Em rất là vui, lần đầu tiên em đi lên đây và hôm nay cái chuyến đi sau lòng em cảm thấy rất là vui.
Dạ. Cảm ơn chị ạ.
lúc chỗ này hả?
Rồi bây giờ quý vị có thể đi chơi đâu tùy thích ha. Bây giờ 12:30 có mặt đó.
xin chào anh Lộc ạ. Anh nhớ tôi tên Mười. Dạ. Anh nào đó là anh làm là chủ sự phòng nhân viên quốc gia hành chánh phải không?
Xã hội trong khóa sinh viên.
Dạ.
Tất cả những khóa sinh viên từ khóa 13 sau này là
khóa tôi nó về nó học cũng gần hết khóa 19.
học cao.
Dạ.
Vâng, hay quá.
Dạ.
Anh có về học.
Tôi ra trường cái tôi ở Phước Long, cái tôi kẹt bị bắt ở Phước Long luôn.
Không tìm cho
tôi đó là tôi làm trưởng ty thể vụ Phước Long. Rồi cái lúc Phước Long bị bắt tôi bị bắt làm tù binh luôn.
Phước Long rồi đó là
đầu tiên.
Em rể Ngọc.
Hồi đó là ông tỉnh trưởng là Nguyễn Thống Thành, trước là ông Lưu Yểm.
Phó tỉnh.
Phó tỉnh là ông chức, Phạm Thăng chức.
Chứ không phải Phó tỉnh Bình Dương.
Dạ.
Phước Long.
Sau khi ra trường khoảng 6 tháng ở trong nhà thể vụ rồi
anh về luôn Phước Long luôn.
Dạ, rồi kẹt luôn. Thôi cảm ơn. Chị lần đầu tiên gặp chị phải không? Đi đại hội đi họ không thấy chị.
Không có được thông báo sao quên. Khi đi du lịch
2 kỳ rồi thì Tân Niên với 30 tháng 4 rồi tôi không có. Tại vì mình bắt kẹt đi bút đi chơi rồi.
Đó. Dạ. Bây giờ cái tuổi này thì mình đi lang thang.
Dạ. Thành ra không có tôi thì ra hình ảnh không có phim gì.
Chung anh làm sao có hình được đây?
Dạ. Có ông gì đó chụp hình anh Trác.
Nhưng mà anh quay cái này rồi.
Dạ. Cái này là quay ra muốn coi là vô là quốc gia hành chánh Nam Cali là nó có hết.
Đúng rồi.
Dạ. Tôi bỏ đó cũng tất cả là cũng khoảng gần 100 mấy chục clip.
Dạ. May anh giữ hồi hành chánh đấy.
Cảm ơn anh. Dạ.
Cảm ơn anh.
Xin lỗi anh tên Chìa.
Thuận.
Anh ở khóa mấy ạ?
Khóa 19 ạ.
Khóa 19.
Dạ.
Anh ở Santa Ana ở đâu?
Dạ, ở Glasgow.
Glasgow. Thế là lần đầu tiên đi trải nghiệm ở đây phải không?
Dạ, lần đầu tiên đi lấy Arrowhead.
Dạ, tôi cũng lần đầu tiên.
Và đi lên đây mát hơi nóng chút thế.
Dạ.
Nhưng mà không sao.
Rồi xin hân hạnh biết anh ạ.
Cảm ơn anh.
Anh An Ninh. Dạ, xin hân hạnh gặp anh ở đây ạ. Trương An Ninh. Dạ. Xin anh cho biết là anh đi ở đây là bao nhiêu lần rồi ạ?
Dạ, đi được lần kia thì đi trượt tuyết, lần này lần thứ nhì. Dạ, có lẽ đây là một trong những 5-7 lần khác nữa.
Dạ. Thôi cảm ơn anh.
Dạ.
2 giờ 40. Ông nhóm đang đứng chờ đợi đi tàu. Thôi, hắn Phi thử coi nó ngon là tôi mua hết.
Welcome aboard the Arrowhead Queen. My name is Captain Adrian. I'm going to be with you for the next 50-55 minutes or so. In fact, if I'm not, as long as some of the water's been in like 15 years, the lake temperature's up to 77 degrees. So it feels really good. There's like a lot of water skiing right there. Alright, let's get this show on the road. How you guys doing today? Good? Alright, we'll get moving. We'll turn the air conditioning on. As soon as we get out past the buoy line, it'll blow in through the windows.
nhìn xuống cái ghe mình đó, thấy giống như nó xích chìm tới đâu vậy đó. Tôi đã cái tôi đó tôi đã tập không có mình lúc này mà cho mình trở lại.
Có thể có.
Yeah, it'll feel really good. How are you guys doing today? Good? Yeah, you guys picked a good day to see the lake. It takes about 1 hour. We'll head around the whole lake. There's 14 miles of shoreline. So we'll get a good look at all of it. It'll be a nice little trip. My name's Captain Matt, just so you guys know, all the life jackets, all the life vests, they're all the way around the outside edge of the boat, the very back of the boat. These big white cushions lift up and the life jackets are directly underneath. They should be completely dry by now. I'm just kidding. We'll park on somebody's front yard way before anybody has to swim. Although the lake's really warm, it's the warmest. She built that house on her own at the age of 15. I know, yeah. And that makes me sick every time I tell you guys that stuff. How much? I don't know how much she paid for it, man, but these days a house like that with probably the best view on the lake, if not one of them, that's going to set you back between 5 and 7 easy. As we round Palisades Point, look out to the white dock house, black roof, black shutters, matching white house above it with a black roof, cross doors under the eaves. This house was owned by Shirley Temple Black. Built in 1929, this one's on the historic register, so it won't change now. But have a look at the one immediately to the left of it, the one with all the white trim. This one just sold for $1.9 million. You want to know what 1.9 million gets you lakeside up here in Arrowhead? 168 steps from the back door to the boat dock. Don't forget the boat key, right? Actually, if I left the cooler at the top of those steps, that would ruin my day. Little structure coming up now, it's got the yellow crane in front of it. 3 pipes going down into the lake. There's one of our pumping stations. Those pipes go down 150 feet into our lake and they draw water off for daily consumption. That water is then sent up over the hill to another part of town called Cedar Glen, where it's processed, before being returned to the residents in the Arrowhead Woods area. There's about 10,000 homes in Arrowhead Woods. It runs maybe 2 miles off the north side of the lake, about a mile off the south. So if, like me, you live in Arrowhead Woods, this is your daily use water. Comes right out of our faucet. Now, over the course of the year, we're going to lose 2.5 feet of lake level due to consumption, and then between 2 and 3 feet due to evaporation. There we go. Did you get my good side? You did. As you look at the lake today, she is full. About 98% full, actually. And you have no idea how happy that makes me. If you live anywhere in SoCal, you'll understand that sentiment. We'll take all the water we can get up here. In fact, after the storms in February and March, we were releasing water for about 4 or 5 weeks on a fairly regular basis, just to maintain lake level for the season, prevent localized flooding. I'll show you where we did that later on the cruise. So it's a great time to come see us. The lake's in perfect condition. And actually, for some reason, we still have most of our bald eagles on the lake. We have 6 nesting pairs in Arrowhead. I think we've at least got 3 nesting pairs still here. And they usually fly north for the summer, but I think it got a little bit delayed this year with the weather. So keep your eyes open for bald eagles. If you see any, shout out. We'll definitely stop for photographs. In the meantime, though, I do have a bald eagle nest for you. This is not a current one. It's an old one, about 2 years old now. Have a look out the right-hand side of the boat at the tall pine tree just on the point. To roost. When they do that, first order of business is to completely destroy last year's nest. Then they build a brand new one from scratch. And as near as anyone can figure, the only reason they do that is that they want their babies to be 100% safe for the coming season. So that's pretty cool. The big house on the point with a terrace wall with the Arrowhead on it belongs to the most famous cosmetic surgeon in Beverly Hills. I know right now we have Emerald Bay, the deepest bay on our lake. But the center here, it's 170 feet deep. And that means, irrespective of any lake level or lake weed issues that could be going on in the lake at any stage, you can always get your boat in and out of Emerald Bay, making these docks in here the most expensive on Arrowhead. On the bow now, we have our dam. And you'll see vehicles going across it every now and then. That's because this is Highway 173. So if you drive around our lake, you are going to drive across the dam. Construction started 1904, completed 1922. And then it took 16 years for our lake to fill with water. And that is because we are entirely reliant on snowmelt and rainwater to fill our lake. Now back in the early 70s, some of you may remember there was a big earthquake down in the San Fernando Valley. It actually cracked the Van Norman Dam above the valley. It was called the Surmark Quake. As a result, state dam inspectors were dispatched to check all dams in the area to see if they'd been compromised. They got to our dam in 1972, said it would not withstand a major quake. So they told the owners of the lake, at that stage it was Boise Cascade, you have two options. Repair the dam or lower the lake level by 75 feet. Well, Boise didn't want to spend millions of dollars on the dam. And as you can imagine, the homeowners around the lake were not thrilled about the thought of lowering the lake level. So they all got together and they purchased the lake for the princely sum of $273,000. I know, not a bad deal. That's what made it a private lake, which it remains to this day. We did 72. We did have to repair the dam. Of course, that cost us $8.2 million, but it's still a pretty good deal. So what we did, we built another dam about 100 yards downstream from this one. Filled the area between the two dams with water. That's now called Papoose Lake. That relieved the back pressure on the main dam. Both dams have been safe ever since. So to own a dock on Arrowhead, first you have to own property in Arrowhead Woods. 10,000 properties, 2,500 docks. 3/4 of those people are going to be unhappy. This is an alternative for them. The only marina on the lake. Also the location of our boat launch and recovery ramp. A great source of entertainment for us locals at the weekend. Coming up on the right now, we have Peninsula Park. Very popular with families with young children. It's very safe. Got lots of cookout areas, play areas, etc. But I want you to look around the base and you'll see a lot of rectangular blocks. These are end cuttings from headstones and tombstones, cheapest material available at the time. So when they opened the park, they gave it a very endearing name. They called it Tombstone Park. Yeah, you're right, it didn't last very long. Surprisingly, nobody wanted to take their kids to play at Tombstone Park, go figure. Look at the big house on the hill above the park, guys. $5.3 million for this beauty. See how the back of it is pretty much all glass? Well, have a look over here. There's $4.3 million of value right there in that view. That's one of the best views on the lake, all the way to the village. Well, the other million? Well, that's in their driveway. Seriously, their driveway's heated. If they're coming up the hill, they see it snowing up here in Arrowhead, all they do is hit an app on their phone. That cools the driveway and turns on the hot water pipes beneath the driveway. They never have to shovel snow. Not a great idea. Yeah, I thought so too. I got the same app on my phone when I moved up here. Yeah, I think I might have installed it wrong. Nothing happens. Nothing. Coming up on the right-hand side, the big wooded property over here. So the two white gazebos in the garden, the Babbling Brook, putting green, chaise under the trees there. House sits on top of the hill. This one belonged to Eric Lassell, who starred with George Clooney and the guys in the series ER. So that's Xanadu, that's Eric's place. Turning now in front of Winter Harbour, where we used to shelter the boats during inclement weather. As we do, look up on the hillside, last house to the left. It's got a glass atrium on this side of it. And this house belonged to Walter O'Malley. He's the guy responsible for bringing the Dodgers out west. And he's also the one that happened to have Marilyn Monroe staying here for most of the time. So yeah, she stayed a lot of the time up here. From Walter's house all the way down the peninsula to the flagpole at the end. One property, guys, my favourite one on the lake. This one belongs to Glenn Keane at the moment. And up until 3 years ago, when Glenn retired, he was the chief character creator and master animist for the Disney Corporation. He's responsible for things like The Little Mermaid, Aladdin, Pete's Dragon. More recently, things like Frozen, Pixar movies, Toy Story, Cars. This is all Glenn Keane's work, and this is his home. It's a magnificent property. If you like it as much as I do, guys, and you've got a little bit more in your pocket than I do, this one went on the market 2 weeks ago. $14.5 million for this one, if you're interested. Coming into Shelter Cove now, and as we do, I want you to look out the right-hand side of the boat and the big wooded property over here. This is the Doheny family property of Doheny Beach. But the most interesting thing, 15 yards in from this shoreline is a little door that leads to an elevator. That elevator is going to take you down 190 feet into the ground and connect to a tunnel. And then the tunnel is going to take you under our lake to the blue tower out there. You can literally walk under Lake Arrowhead to our tower. I'll tell you why in a sec. The big white and natural wood finish house tucked back in the trees there belongs to Mark Harmon. You remember Jethro Gibbs from NCIS? And his wife Pam Dorber, who some of you may remember as Mindy from Mork and Mindy back in the 70s. Right on the bow now, guys, a very peculiar looking house on the point. We call it the Darth Vader house. But I want you to focus on the strange looking glass room at this end of it.
Yeah.
This is their master shower and jacuzzi room. Do you imagine a view from there? Well, heck, you imagine a view from here at night. Sorry, family boat. Anyway, the house was built by the Probes. Now, Walter was a copper baron. His wife Carol, another multiple medal winner in ice skating. She actually owned the ice castles where Michelle Kwan trained. But the most interesting thing about this property, every pane of glass in here is bulletproof. And that is because the Probes had a lot of very senior government officials as friends. The Reagans and the Fords, frequent visitors to this property, so it was built with the Secret Service to keep everybody safe. Let's have a look at the left-hand side of the boat for a sec. We'll talk about our tower. Just under 200 feet tall from top to bottom, the tower effectively is the drain plug for our lake. Now, at the time it was built, it was the tallest independent reinforced concrete water tower in the world. You see, originally the lake was part of a 7-lane program to provide hydroelectric power and irrigation to the farmers down in San Bernardino and Redlands. Concrete pipes radiate out from the base of the tower. They go under our lake, up over the hill, down the other side, all the way to San Bernardino. But that is not the natural flow of water off this mountain. So in 1914, the apple farmers down there in Apple Valley, they got wind of what was going on up there, and they said to the owners of the lake, you can't do that. That's not your water. It's our water. They sued them. And they won that case in the Supreme Court. That's actually what established the California Water Rights Law. So we've never been able to use that drain plug, and we ended up as a resort town rather than a hydroelectric power station. Sort of happy about that, but... Oh, the tunnel I mentioned? That's an inspection tunnel for the tower and the equipment it contains. If you're interested, check out the Historical Society website up here, because you can book yourselves a tunnel tour. Next time you come up, you can tell your friends you walked under Lake Arrowhead. A little bit different. Alright, so there's 4 houses on this side of the lake, guys, all in a row. And they got these grey tracks running down from them. They're pretty deep. They're called funiculars, sort of a cross between a tram and an elevator. That means the guys over here, they don't have to walk 168 steps from their back door to the boat dock. You know, like the poor people.
Yeah.
Live over there in the $2 million homes. This one coming up now, it's got the yellow kayak on the dock, beautiful stone chimneys at each end. Up until August, about 3 years ago, the whole house was covered in scaffolding. I used to say it was getting a facelift. And the reason it's so funny to me that this house in particular was getting a makeover, it used to belong to Max Factor, the chairman of Revlon and Maybelline Cosmetics. Alright guys, I want you to look at the big white house on the top of the hillside coming up now. This one's got a great story to it. The husband who lives here is the happiest guy on our lake. You see, about 20 years ago, his wife, who's a nurse down in San Diego, was on her way home from work when she stopped to pick up a bottle of Chardonnay for dinner. Now, at the same time, completely out of character, she purchased a $5 quick pick. Yes, you guessed it. $27 million later. They're Super Lotto winners. Very good to his wife. Never gets the last word, he just does not care. Oh guys, a little tiny house over here behind the boat dock with a slide on it. That's my place. Just kidding. I could barely afford the slide, come on. I live about a quarter mile behind us up in the trees. Now this one's going to be tricky for you to see. Right at the top of the hillside, you might catch a glimpse of a big grey roof, red tile trim. See it right up there on the tree line. As we go around the corner, you'll see it better. Beneath it, there's a big white house, and that one belongs to the Van Nuys brothers, the second owners of our lake. They're also the ones responsible for changing the name of our lake. You see, originally this was Little Bear Valley, so when it filled up with water, it became Little Bear Lake. The Van Nuys brothers bought the lake because they wanted to develop real estate around the lake, and they thought people might get confused between Little Bear Lake and Big Bear Lake, so they changed the name. And they named it after the 1,500-foot high natural rock and brush formation in the shape of an arrowhead that you can see on the side of our mountain. It's been there hundreds of years. There's the house now, guys. You can see it between the trees, right at the very roof line there. So the rundown from the drain plug to this point here, there weren't as many docks. And that is because we were travelling past a gated community. That one is Eagle Point Estates, one of 3 on the lake. They account for about 30% of the total shoreline. Whenever you're in a gated community, 1 house, 1 dock. Once you get past it, as we do at Van Nuys Point here, well, we're going to squeeze in every single one of those 2,500 docks as quick as we possibly can. By the way, he is just showing off. I could go a lot quicker if I wanted to. Look across the little beach area, see a little cliff, and above it a set of railings. This denotes the edge of one of our trails, this one the North Bay Trail. And we have 11 miles of trails winding around the shoreline of our lake, everywhere other than the gated communities, and that is so owners can access their docks if they're not immediately adjacent to their own property. We also use it for general recreational purposes, so you may see people walking, jogging, walking the dog, that sort of thing. We're ready for our afternoon's racing, starts at 2 p.m. We have regattas every Saturday and Sunday through the season, and that's one of the Marshall's boats over here for the course. Look over here to the right hand side, and you're going to see several views between the trees of a really large building. It's actually the UCLA Lake Arrowhead Lodge and Conference Center. It's in between the trees right now. It's sort of difficult to see with all the leaves on it, but you'll see several views of it between the trees. Sits behind Tab and Bay Beach Club, the larger of the 2 ALA beach clubs, Arrowhead Lake Association. That's how we own the lake today. And you might have seen a little bridge there beyond the beach. It's just a tiny little thing, but right behind it there's some gates, and that's where we release the water from our lake these days. So that's where we were releasing water after the storms to maintain lake level. We actually used the Lake Arrowhead Lodge as their Camp David in the movie The American President, starring Michael Douglas. Very often they like gold up here. But when they do, that is the excuse for the latest and greatest dockhouse to be built. They got everything these days. Right? That guy's got solar panels stuff. They got satellite TV, hot and cold running water, wet bars, little grills, pot-belly stoves. You name it, they've got it. They really are a home from home. But you know what, guys? It makes sense. I'm going to give you an example. Let's say that I'm an owner living at the furthest extent of Arrowhead Woods. So that's going to put me 2 miles off the north side of the lake here. Now, if I bought a dock in Orchard Bay, we passed it earlier, that's another 2 miles across the lake. So if I'm on a boating day and I've forgotten something, I am now faced with an 8-mile round trip to pick that up from my home. The one off the right hand side now with a shake shingle roof, Vern Wenschel's of Wenschel's Yum Yum Donuts. That's still in the Wenschel family, very unusual. The original builder's still in the house, so they've had that since 1971. We're going to leave North Bay behind us, head on over to Blue Jay Bay, but as we do, I want you to look out the right-hand side of the boat now, this beautiful white house with a double drive-in boat garage. Unique on the lake, the house was built by Thomas Hamilton, the inventor of the variable pitch propeller, and that allowed aircraft to travel faster and further on a single tank of gas in the Second World War. Now, as a thank you for his contribution to the war effort, the government donated to Mr. Hamilton all of this land, the entire peninsula, everything from Lucy's house all the way to the far point. He used to keep cattle on it. We've got any fans of James Bond on board? 2 Bond movies were shot in the boathouse alone, one starring Roger Moore, the other with Sean Connery. Now if you look beyond the blue coverts over here, up across that incredibly well manicured lawn into the trees, you'll see a beautiful white house in there. And this one was owned by an extremely flamboyant piano player back in the 70s. Any guesses? Liberace, that's right. Get a couple of boats up there, he used to keep them right here in this striped canopy boat dock. The names on his boats, Bass Clef and the Treble Clef. And of course back in the 70s boats weren't very colourful, they were typically just white or cream. Not going to suit Liberace, right? Things like Next, Nicolas Cage, Julianne Moore. And probably the most recent one was released about 6 years ago now. It was a Netflix movie starring Meryl Streep. Did anybody see that? It's called The Laundromat. Yeah. Do you remember what happened at the beginning? Yes. Okay, keep it to yourself. Yeah, so the whole thing, guys, is set in Lake George, New York. The whole thing was filmed right here, Lake Arrowhead, California. And as the lady knows, right back there at the other end of the boat, right at the beginning of the movie, the tourboat on Lake George. She's called the Ethan Allen. Suffers this freak accident and sinks. The rest of the movie is all about how offshore companies and offshore insurance groups defrauded the victims and the owners of any payouts they would do. Now this is a tough movie to watch, guys. It darts about all over the place. And you have to put up with Antonio Banderas singing the narrative, and that is incredibly annoying. But if you manage to get through all of that, you get to the end, it all comes together, and it's pretty interesting. It's based on a true story. So, the Queen had a starring role in that movie. She played the Ethan Allen. So she was sunk in the first 5 minutes. But of course we didn't really sink her, we wouldn't do that to the old girl. But sorry, I'm going to check where these guys are going. They're getting ready for the regatta, so I'm just going to keep my eyes about for a second now. I cut in this side. We're not going behind the buoy line, right? We are not going behind the buoy line. I want you to repeat that after me, right? Thank you, ma'am. Yeah, the other interesting thing was that for 9 days during filming of that show, they changed all the signage up here. Oh, where's this guy going? Alright, he's really comfy in. Yeah, they're not very old, some of these guys, so you've got to give them plenty of room. Yeah, so they changed all the signage up here for 9 days during filming of that show. And everything, road signs, road names, shop fronts, billboards, even house names, guys. If the house was going to appear on camera and the producers felt that the name did not reflect Lake George, they changed the name of the house. It was ridiculous. I mean, I live here, I couldn't even find Stater Brothers. So this is the official finish line over here, guys. We see that grey pier jutting out from the wall. So most of these guys are manoeuvring over to the start to get ready for the races at 2. And then we'll see them all over the lake, because there's lots of different classes. But this finish line is right in front of the Commodore's house. That's the Commodore of the Yacht Club. The house was originally owned by Alyssa Milano, star of Mistresses, Charmed, and Who's the Boss. That was Alyssa's place. Anybody on board like Trader Joe's or shop at Trader Joe's? Yeah, you did? Me too, I love Trader Joe's. Sadly, we don't have one up here. I have to go all the way down the hill for my fix. You know what though, guys, it makes sense to me to spend 20 bucks on gas to get a $3 bottle of wine. Count 3 houses in from the point. That beautiful stone-coloured home there behind that magnificent oak tree belonged to Joe Cologne, Trader Joe. Now sadly we lost Joe about 3 years ago now, so the family sold off all of his assets. And you know what, I think the new owner's name might begin with M. And it's just a wild guess, you know. So back to the bow of the boat again. Have a look at this beautiful house on the point. This is another favourite of mine. Look at the detail on the roof line, the chimneys. It's got that beautiful little Romeo and Juliet balcony on the turret room around the corner here. But even the Tudor finish, those big arch windows, to me, I don't know, it looks a little bit like a magic castle. What do you think? Yeah? Well, that could be because the house was built and owned by Michael Eisner, who at the time was chairman and CEO of the Disney Corporation. He lived there 11 years before selling the house to Brian Wilson of the Beach Boys. This was Brian's second home on the lake. He now lives behind me back here in Blue Jay Bay. Oh, and the name on Brian's boat, you ladies are going to like this one. California Girls. Very appropriate, man. So as we're cruising around, we're looking at these magnificent lakeside homes. It's sort of sad, well, sad to me anyway. Only about 35% of the lakeside ones are lived in full-time. The rest of them are just weekend homes or summer cottages. And of course they didn't look like this originally. And a dock in here is only going to run you about $100,000, which is really good for us up here. I'll give you a comparison. Our most expensive dock sold 2 years ago, back in Emerald Bay by the dam. A single dock, guys, $479,000 just for the dock. And remember, you can't even buy that dock unless you already own property in Arrowhead Woods. Average price, $1 million. So, boating's not cheap up here. What about a nice little Tudor over here? 12,200 square feet. That's lived in by a little old retired couple and their German Shepherd dog. That has to be a search and rescue dog. I mean, how else are they going to find each other? What about the piece of dirt to the left of the Tudor being worked on right now? Up until July last year, that was the last lakeside lot available. But following the exchange of $1.1 million just for the dirt, we now have no lakeside lots left. And that's the first time that's happened to us for 65 years. Coming up at the Rock House, nothing to do with the music they play. I think what happened here is husband and wife just couldn't decide what colour to paint this property. So they said, well, let's just throw rocks at it. Which was pretty smart, because now they don't have to paint it. I keep telling my wife that's a great idea, but she just throws rocks at me. Well, I think that's why she's throwing them at me. It could be anything. Now, it's got that arched window set, trimmed in white. And that one is Brooke Shields' home. She's had that one about 20 years. Top left-hand side, you're going to see a large grey house with white trim. And it's a house, not a hotel. That is 14,400 square feet. The entire lower level, where you see those round windows, is a 22-car garage. Equipped with a turntable to turn your car around and an auto elevator to bring the car up to road level. Originally being built for Jay Leno, he never went ahead with the purchase, moving instead to Tahoe. So it's owned by a guy called Ashby, who builds highways for us. That is your tax dollars at work, guys. And at 18,700 square feet, the house on Totem Pole Point is the largest direct lake access home here in Arrowhead. Their master suite, guys, is 2,000 square feet. Yeah, I know my house would be in their bedroom. Built by the Longs, who sold out to CBS back in the 80s. Their other home was in Maui. Some people got no idea how to live, do they? Alright, if you look right on the bow now, we have our island. This is Lone Pine Island, the only island on the lake. You can't build on it, it's treated as part of the lake. You look off to the right-hand side, you'll see what appears to be some very tall children standing in the lake. Actually, that's a sandbar over there, guys. It keeps it nice and safe and shallow. Also keeps the water temperature about 5 to 10 degrees warmer, so it's about 80 degrees over there right now. Right? A bit like bath water. Yeah, but because it is so safe and shallow, the island is very popular with families with young children and pets, because they do a lot of birthday parties, treasure hunts, etc. on the island. Sadly, the Lone Pine is no more. It got attacked by barker beetle, struck by lightning, and I think it finally lost its life to a chainsaw. But if you look on the point between the trees, you might get a glimpse of the Lone Pine stump. No. There's also a very interesting clump of trees on here, guys. They're just around the point here. And you can't really see them so well this time of year. They just blend in with the other trees. But in the springtime, you can see them really clearly because they are covered in white flowers. And they are called dogwoods. We have them all the way around the forest up here. Very pretty tree. And the other interesting thing about a dogwood is that the Serrano Indians used to use them for medicinal purposes. You see, the bark contained a component called salicylic acid, and that is the active ingredient for aspirin. And what the Indians would do, they'd peel the bark, make a tea out of it, and then they'd drink the tea as a natural pain reliever. You know, I thought about that for a couple of minutes, and it made total sense to me. These condos are only going to run you $650,000 to $750,000, so we call these low-income housing. And then just beyond the condos, guys, the big green building coming into view now is the Lake Arrowhead Resort and Spa. Originally built as a Hilton, then became a Marriott, now it's the resort. They are the only company that weigh 12 pounds, 11 ounces. That's not bad for a trout, is it? It's a monster fish. Coming up now on the right-hand side, give you a clue because all the yachts leaving it. This is the yacht club, guys. And as I said earlier, all these guys are getting ready for the regattas starting at 2. It's funny, you'll notice they'll just come straight across in front of us, they don't care. But basically, of course, under maritime law, we have to give way to them anyway, they're sailboat power. But this thing weighs 17 tons, it doesn't stow very well. And it's 53 feet long, so it doesn't turn very well. So I'm going to give them right of way, but I'm pretty certain we're going to have the right of weight. I've put that to the test too many times. Seeing the flag on Festival Point reminds me of all the fun stuff we have going on through the season. Any of you guys on board ever been to our 4th of July celebrations? No? Let me just tell you about our fireworks. I'll check where this guy's going. Okay, he's coming by me. So what we do, we take a barge and we stick it out here in the middle of the lake. And for 35 minutes we shoot fireworks off it. Of course, once that's over, that's when the real show begins. You see, that is when all 2,700 boats registered to the lake are out on Arrowhead in the dark, trying to find their way home. Most of them are lit. A few of the boats are too. It makes it a little challenging. So we do a firework cruise every year on the Queen. Lots of fun. We sit right behind, about 30 yards back from the barge. Great view of the fireworks. So I don't know exactly how far that is back to our home dock, but guys, at most, it's like, I don't know, a quarter of a mile. I took it out 4 years ago. When it was all over, it took me 1 hour and 47 minutes to get back, just dodging boats.
Oh, wow.
I had one guy, I know it's the same guy, had a very distinctive light pan on his boat. And he crisscrossed to and fro in front of me, well, at least 7 times, because I counted 7. Had to be way more than that. He had no clue where he was. Might just as well have been on Lake Havasu for all you know. But we have a ton of other fun things going on. I already mentioned the regattas, obviously. We have a summer concert series every Friday and Saturday night, centre stage in the village, 7 p.m. That's great fun. Great cover bands from all over. Then we have boat shows, bike shows, car shows. Hope you're enjoying the car show today as well. We have antiques fairs, craft fairs, wine festivals, beer festivals. Well, we end our season with a beer festival, of course. Oktoberfest. We love Oktoberfest. We love it so much we start it in September and just keep going until the beer runs out. Tons of fun. Look out to the right hand side, you'll see a blue jetty sticking out into the water, and that is home to the Mackenzie Water Ski School, continuously owned and operated by the same family for the last 75 years. It's currently run by
Anh có mang cái iPhone chạc
and his son Mac, who's going to be 14 this year, he first learned to ski on Dad's shoulders when he was just 18 months old. Great peeps, the Mackenzies. They're the only instructors in North America that still get in the water with you to make sure that you got up on the skis for the first time. Alright guys, this is where the boat comes off the track. I've got to focus a little bit. I'm going to ask you please remain seated during the docking process, and I'll jump off first, make sure she's securely tied on, before I allow you guys to safely disembark. Other than that, I've got nothing more to say to you than to thank you very much indeed for coming out with me today, guys. Hope you guys enjoy this as much as I enjoyed doing it. Please, whatever you do, enjoy the rest of your day up here in beautiful Lake Arrowhead. Stay safe, guys, wherever you go. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, sir.
How many square feet, square mile for this lake?
The lake, when it's full like now, has a surface area of 800 acres. So it's not that big.
Another question. The Arrowhead is the water that provide to us to drink?
No, it doesn't come from here. It comes from down the lake. No, I don't think so.
mặc dù nó hơi nắng và hơi mệt nhưng mà tất cả thấy mọi người nét mặt đều vui tươi hết và cười sảng khoái, là cái đó là điều rất là vui mừng cho ban tổ chức. Hy vọng trong tương lai cũng sẽ đón tiếp quý anh chị đi một lần nữa.
Thật sự là chúng tôi phải cảm ơn anh Sáu với các anh ở trong ban tổ chức. Kỳ này tổ chức là chúng tôi có cái dịp để mà gặp nhau như thế này không biết là bao nhiêu lần nữa. Thì tôi expect rằng là kỳ tới các anh phải tiếp tục với chúng tôi luôn luôn support.
Cái lúc đó là mà nhờ anh là đứng hàng đầu lo giùm.
Hello.
Thì vấn đề tiền bạc đó là coi như là
sao anh khỏe không?
Quý vị đóng góp là coi như xong.
Dạ khỏe,
không còn nợ gì cả. Ban tổ chức có một cái mà ấn để tương chút xíu là mình quên cái phần đài thọ hai ông tài xế đi ăn chung nè, rồi cái phần xeo tắc nè, với phần cho service charge, cho nên nó tăng lên tí xíu hơi cao nhưng mà nó không có đủ tiền để mua vé số.
Cho ngàn này đi à?
Coi như trong ban tổ chức lỗ chút ít rồi.
Chỗ nào nó cho tôi đâu có biết để hỏi tôi là
dạ thôi đủ rồi.
Rồi.
Dạ. Tại vì nó có những cái
hay là kêu tôi nó bóng giùm đi.
Cái như tiền tiếp cái trạm
chừng nào đi coi chừng đừng
tháng 8 sao tắc
coi chừng đừng cái ngày bên đi bác sĩ á,
rồi hai ông tài xế nữa
bên 1 tây tháng 9 là có bác sĩ nha.
Mà bà Quanh đó thì là 1 tây tháng 9 đi bác sĩ.
Sao ơi, lần sau đi cruise đi cho đỡ lâu.
Dạ.
Rồi cho tiền rồi đi à.
Cái chuyến ru mà lớn nhất thế giới bây giờ là Eye of the Sea. Quá to. Mà đó là nó mới hạ thủy thôi. Giờ chuyến đầu tiên là năm 2024. Nhưng mà đó rất là đắt tiền.
Quá đắt.
Số
của tôi là 1 cân vậy.
30.